Fragile State Index, Zimbabwe is listed as a fragile state. Do you agree with that, Mr. President? Is Zimbabwe a fragile state?
Well, now you are. Well, of course, you know that is not true. And Zimbabwe is one of the most highly developed country in Africa. And after South Africa, I want to know which country has, that level of development that we see in Zimbabwe. We have 14 universities. We have our literacy rate is over 90, and it's the highest in Africa. And I don't talk of us as a fragile state from an economic point of view. Yes, we have our problems, but certainly we are achieving our problems. We have resources, perhaps more resources than the average country in the world. You see, gold, diamonds, chrome, coal, etc., platinum, etc. And we are utilizing them. And our agriculture is very viable.
Mugabe, as an elder African leader, do you think African leaders have done enough to address the issue of fragility in Africa and the devastating impact it's had on Africans?
Yes and no. The causes of violence are quite varied. In our situations where our economies are still developing and we are not able to grow them at a speed which can absorb the employment of the youths and the population of the youth, both girls and boys, is rising. And these young ones look up to government to give them employment. Government must do everything in order to ensure that they have food and beyond food that they have incomes. Then they go into the streets and demonstrate. But then there are also those who support government. And then there are clashes. In some cases it becomes the ruling party versus the opposition. But you see, economies cannot grow as quickly as our people expect them. We need more investment, and that investment should have come long ago. But we still, most of us are at a subsistence level. So that is the area where some violence can take place. But that, one expects, can be ameliorated as the economy improves.
So there, a conversation, I suppose, at times difficult for President Robert Mugabe, and I think one of the things that's starting to show perhaps is that, as he's gotten older, his quick wit and sort of legendary responses are slowing down somewhat, and one could see that in that conversation there. But he's quite adamant that the WEF have got it wrong by calling Zimbabwe a fragile state.
And also that whole ranking system. So he was talking about development. It doesn't translate exactly to competitiveness, but he said that Zimbabwe, in his words, is one of the most developed in Africa, only behind South Africa. So it just sounds really bizarre when you look at the actual rankings in terms of competitiveness. We are number 2. Zimbabwe number 21, and he is ranked as a fragile state. It is. The economic situation there is pretty dire. In terms of global rankings, we're at the top 50 in the globe, which is great news. Zimbabwe in the bottom 50. And maybe you could give people insight into this picture.